Well, good day, everybody. Good to be here with you on the Thursday evening at 9 p.m. here in Eastern Standard Time in Ontario. So the reason why I'm not on the cam tonight is because my wife did have surgery. Thank God everything went over well. She is home. She's recovering. But we do have people around the house. So I want to be in a little different area of the house, so I didn't want people to be walking by. But we'll be back on cam for the next live stream. So I had to do this. I wanted to do which is more reliable, either the Quran or the Bible, and go back and do the manuscripts and things to this nature, which I think I'm going to have to hold off until next week because something happened on Sunday. I believe it was maybe yeah. I think it was Sunday anyway. Um, and it really got to me too because I tried to get onto Kalamology. This is Khalil runs this show, and they do polemics against Christianity. So he had this guy named Mustafa Ahmed on the show, and the question was it was about a biblical. What was the criteria of a biblical prophet, right? So I wanted to get in there because they were going to Deuteronomy and saying that if a prophet speaks in a name other than, of course, Yahweh, then he has spoken false God's name and you shouldn't trust him. So you should only speak in the name of God, right? Well, we know that the Jewish God, Yahweh, the triune God, we know that that is the only true God, and we know that that would be the name. So we know that when Muhammad come and he claimed that he got inspiration from this God Allah, it goes against Deuteronomy. So I wanted to get onto the show and I wanted to discuss this to see what type of argument that I would get from these Muslims because I was told that Khalil was supposed to be uh, a decent, well versed Muslim, right? So what I did is I went on there and I asked a question. And the only answer Khalil could give, or the only response was, well, can you show me where Jesus says Yahweh? That was it. And I was like, well, basically, do you want to stick with that argument? Like I asked him, I was like, do you really want to stick with that argument? Because I knew it was really stupid, right? And I thought that he was a lot smarter than that. So I was giving him a chance to bring out a little bit better of an argument, right? So as you will see, and I think it's only maybe about a minute I'm going to play until they end up getting rid of me off of the show. Um, but yeah, that's all that happened except for Mustafa Ahmed, which he's a very nasty, disgusting person, and that's all I called him on the show. You'll see that Khalil tries to tell me that I can't use bad language and whatnot because of his viewers, but in nowhere, shape, or form did ever use a bad word on that show. So, oh, sorry about that, John. I'll bring you up here as well. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to introduce the three guys that I do have with me tonight. I do have Eric Smith. We have the radical of the moderates, and I have Mr. John Isaac with me this evening. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
What's up? But I'm only moderately radical.
Hi, guys.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to get this video playing. Chrome tab. We'll do this one. Share the audio. All right. So we'll get this on full screen for you. All right. We ready?
See here, Chris Kloss in the chat room. They're chatting. I think I read you said you have something going on in an hour. We do have time. You can jump in and tell us why you object with what we say, instead of making videos and misquoting Brother Mustafa and myself and cutting and chopping videos, right?
Yeah, and I just want to pause it there. He says that I lie and things to this nature. And if anybody wants to check the video that I just uploaded, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, that completely refutes what he's trying to say here. He's just trying to save face. This is the guy that actually said, yeah, Paul said that in First Chronicles. What a guy. But anyway, continuing.
Edit in them and add in whatever you want. This is your chance to step up and tell us exactly how you feel about what we say. This is a direct academic, intellectual challenge. Hop on.
Yeah, I think that
here's the thing, brothers. Just to note that I know Chris Claus is probably
Sorry, I
on the
just turned
show.
there like an actor for a second. My apologies. God.
Yeah, I tell you why. Because we have boycotted Chris Claus. None of the Muslims should debate or have a discussion with him. He's done something horrible. He's done something horrible in the past, and he's not admitted to his mistakes. And he's disrespected our brothers in the past. And when we asked him for an apology, he did not apologize. That's why we cannot accept him to get on the show. I'm urging my Muslim brothers not to engage with Chris Claus, since he's not been able to debate all the Muslim brothers that he wants to debate with. What he's doing, he's fishing now. He's fishing. He's going online and he's trying to fish Muslims and trying to catch gullible Muslims. Do not listen to Chris Claus and do not join his show. He's a deceiver and he's a liar.
I just want to point out, look how scared this man is to actually let me on here. This has to tell you guys something, but continuing.
And he's done horrible stuff in the past. And so we've boycotted him. This is
We're
done by
willing
the
to give him
Dawah.
yeah. Just another thing for the watchers out there, people in the chat room. So inshallah, all Muslims cannot hold the idea of jumping into the stream for now. Let us do what we do normally, the discussion, and deal with our friends from Judeo-Christian faith, and then you guys can jump in, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. In terms of Chris Claus, I agree with you. I've kind of seen and heard those things. We're just trying to give him a chance to see whether he has actually.
All right, so I'm going to cut it off there because I think that's all we need to see for right now. So what we have here is we have Mustafa Ahmed basically just flipping out. No, please don't let Chris Claus on. Me and the EF Dawa guys, we've boycotted him, even though I talked to him and things to this nature. He's told me that he has no problem with me coming on to the arena or things to this nature. But he's like, oh yes, this all happened. But what I want to really tell you is the whole story to this is actually over the videos of Kenny Bomber, right? So they did actually boycott me for a little bit, but the problem is here, and none of the guys here in the chat actually know this as well. But when Kenny put out the thing about his ex and his son losing their apartment and whatnot, right, which is a bad thing, I supported him. I've been talking to him here and there, sending him messages. I don't think that he's a bad guy. Me and him have made a truce. And through Sam Shimon, a good brother in Christ, he brokered the agreement between the two of us. Of course, I know I still believe that he's condemned to hell because he does not accept the true triune God and he rejects Jesus, of course, right? I still believe that he follows the satanic religion, but there's no animosity between me and Kenny at all anymore. But I wouldn't say the same for Mustafa and or the rest of them. So what I'm going to show you now, guys, and if there's anybody that has kids in the room that watches the computer with them, now's the time to maybe let the kids leave the room. I'll give you roughly about 20 seconds because what we have from Mustafa Ahmed, no kid should ever see. This man is completely disgusting. And I'm asking Khalil from Kalamology, if you have any decency in your soul, you would not let somebody like this, as you're going to see, anywhere near your show and taint it the way that he will. All right. So now that I've taken my time, now that the kids should be gone, I don't really have to share the audio because there is no real audio in this one. All right. So I'm going to large screen this one. And I'm going to read along here. This is Mustafa Ahmed speaking with Mr. Eric Smith and DL Tate. He's saying, on Kenny's next show, we might make you famous by showing your comments. Watch out, son. And then he says that DL and Eric are holding hands like they're boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And then he always jumps into me. There's always something that he doesn't like about me. So he says, tell your husband, Chris Claus, we ran out of cheese. Well, that's not really how you spell cheese, but we'll give it to him, right? So it's cheese. Can you bring me some? some from his cheese factory, the Smelly Cheese Boy, or that's Chess Boy. Anyway, he spelled cheese kind of good the first time, the second two times, totally misplaced it. He's not a very good speller. We're not going to hold him on the spelling, people. But yes, I work in a cheese factory. I have no problem with that. I supply cheese for a lot of people around here. I have a very good job. I have 5 children, and I support all of them. So yeah, me and my wife just went for a trip to Cuba at the end of January. So I have no problem making cheese. Maybe he's just upset that there's other people out there that actually work, right? Because we all know that. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. What's wrong with making cheese, dude?
I don't know.
I don't get the. I know seriously. Oh, he's a cheesemaker. What? So what?
I would like to know what he does for a living other than suck off the government in London, England.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm just kind of confused on the whole cheese thing, man. But okay, so that's a bad thing. That's halal. I mean, that's haram. That's should not make cheese. The thinking of these. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, this is what people do that have no life. I mean, if a guy is doing nothing with his life, he's going to criticize anybody that would have a job. And this is what Mustafa does. He's a pervert. He's a sick man. And sometimes I wonder, and I don't spend a lot of time doing this. By the way, I just wonder if all of his allusions to Chris and I being friends or whatever has anything to do with his sexuality. That's what kind of perplexes me.
I'd put it out there. I've never heard that he's had a girlfriend. Now, if he does like the same sex, if he does like males, yeah, so be it. To each his own. I'm not going to judge, right? Maybe that's his thing.
Well, God would judge. That's for sure. And if he does have a girlfriend, I would be really surprised because people like this do not attract women. I mean, if you look at this, oh, okay, never mind. I'm not going to go down that road. But if you would just consider what this guy does in all of his comments, everything is sexualized. And if you are deprived in that area of your life, that's the only thing that you think about, and that's the only thing that you comment on. And when you make consistent and constant post on Facebook and make the allusions to this, it's probably a problem in his life.
Oh, for sure. So continuing on here in the next little slide that we have of Mustafa Ahmed, this is where I'm confirming why they're boycotting me, basically, right? He's like, so as Muslims, we're boycotting the like of you and Chris. Have you not watched Kenny's recent show? We called you out. So yes, it was on Kenny's show. They tried to call us out. They tried to say that they were boycotting our show and things to this nature. That was before I had 3 debates. That's before I was invited on different places. So his boycotting isn't really doing a thing. So, but hey, if he thinks that he's doing a good job, and then it's just down here again, nothing really to see on this one here. So we'll go on to the next one here. And then here, oh, he's calling me a Smelly Cheese Boy again. And this is funny.
Exactly, Chris. This is what I'm saying. This is where he alludes to you as your husband, Chris Claus. And I think that maybe he's making allusions to his little friend, Gina Brick.
Yeah.
I does here. I don't know.
Hey, now.
You gotta watch. Okay, I don't want to say. I'm sorry. I don't. Okay.
You gotta. It's the Islamic Doxer on this channel. You can use that one.
I'm muting myself.
But yeah, so here we have Eric telling him the truth, right? He's like, "Thank you for making my point for me. I'm sure that your mother would be proud of the fine little lad that she has raised, right?" So basically, Eric's just poking fun at him. But here he gets so upset. He's like, "So now you're involving my mother, huh? Nice one, Eric. Nice Christian comment. Good of you to do that." Now, I want everybody to take notice that when somebody talks about his mother, he completely flips it right around like it was something bad. And then he's accusing somebody of being, oh yeah, what a real Christian comment that would be, right? So, and again, this is again Mustafa the way he is. But hold on to that just for a bit. Again, here, Mustafa, can you let go of your man's hand for a few minutes so he can get on our StreamYard? Again, he's thinking that, Eric, if you're gay, you're just gay with everybody. Now this is DL, this is me, and this is everything else. So I honestly think that you're right. I think that he's projecting what he wants upon other people, and I think this is what we see.
Exactly. This, I have about as much control of you as I do of, the mice in my basement. Yeah, I have absolutely no control of what you do, and this is what he's trying to say. Is he's saying, okay, Eric, why don't you tell your buddy Chris to do X, Y, and Z? Unlike Islam, where you have to obey your sheikhs and your mullahs and all that, here in Christianity, we are free thinkers. We can, we can believe what we want. We can worship how we want. And this guy he simply doesn't get it.
Well, can I just add real quickly here?
No,
I got a cat that deals with the mice in the basement. I'm just saying, but go ahead. I don't know why I said that.
All right, so continuing on, I think this was like the last one of just these guys. So yeah, here. So this is another thing now, and I'm not going to say his name. It's the Islamic doxer here. He says he's really disappointed in Kenny. And the reason why he's disappointed in Kenny is because Kenny actually spoke out against Ijaz when he was caught for doxing. Shabir Ali put out a statement and he fired the Islamic doxer, sent him packing. And Kenny, as a good person, actually spoke against it and said it was wrong. Didn't matter that it was Muslim, same as us Christians saying what Ravi did was wrong, and I'm not going to go any further than that. But we say that it's wrong. Kenny called it out wrong, and now Ijaz is starting to attack Kenny for him saying this. Funny enough that they tried to boycott me because I was talking bad about Kenny. Weirdly enough, just keep watching here. This is Mr. Mustafa himself. He says, I'm really shocked and disappointed to see that a Muslim brother would insult and curse another Muslim, especially about his mother, because the brother critiqued certain statements, which it really wasn't about his mother. It was just about how he raised him and stuff like that. It was another same type of thing that Eric said. Kenny said it as well, and it was on video. You can watch it on Kenny's channel. Then to justify the claim, it cannot be yeah. So Kenny said that basically, if you have something that could critique about me, maybe you should get a hold of me in private, right? And Mustafa's like, oh no, we should be able to do whatever we want. And then he's basically, and this is the worst part, right? It's okay to abuse the brothers in public is treachery, right? So he thinks that because what Kenny said about Ijaz, that is treachery. That's a death sentence in Islam, right? And now he didn't say Kenny Bomer's name in this, but it's perhaps we should consider this matter very seriously. Now we know that Kenny's YouTube is considered this TV, right? So that was just a shot at Kenny, and this is just another one. These guys are going back, but now we have Kenny Bomber actually realizing what's going on here, right? So he's calling out Mustafa and saying that he's got no clue why everything's going on. He's not sure why they keep attacking him and things to this nature. Again, Muslims are attacking Muslims just because they said something about Ijaz. And here we go. You were not saying these things when Ijaz was openly mocking me on a live stream, even though he knew it was happening. Now he was attempted to do it again, and someone makes a video about him, and you run to his defense like a puppy. You also attacked another Muslim, trying to humiliate him in his first live stream. So what Mustafa Ahmed's doing is...
Stop. I gotta interrupt you, Chris. You said the demon's name like 3 times. Please stop.
Whoops. Yeah, I'm doing that when I'm reading it. Sorry.
I know.
My bad. So here we have Mustafa. He's actually attacking this other Muslim that is his first time on stream, and it's probably pretty nervous and whatnot, right? And then you have somebody like Mustafa Ahmed trying to humiliate him on his first time. And that's not the worst. It actually gets way worse. And here it is, and this is why the children need to go away. The gentleman's name is Peter. I've talked to Peter. He's the one that sent me these. He actually gave me permission to use the pictures as well. I think he's got a beautiful family. I think everybody else is going to feel the same way. But this is the way that
I completely agree,
Mustafa
by the way.
Ahmed.
I completely agree with what you said about Peter. He's a great guy.
And so this is exactly the way Mustafa Ahmed talks to somebody when he thinks that nobody else will find out, right? He says, moron, what's happening? Cat got your tongue? You essay, you know, it, what I'm not going to say it. And then, he's got better things to do, right? Calls him a little bit of a name, which is all right after what's been going on. And then he's swearing at him, calling him a waste man. You see how you CUNTSSHIT it about Petra. So what they're talking about is Peter's always talking to them about Petra and Mecca, because Petra seems more historical than Mecca does for that time frame. And this really, really upsets Mustafa. Anybody else?
Chris, I didn't realize this. Okay, so this is something that I'm going to go at. I'm going to talk about a lot in the near future then, because the fact of the matter is there is no mention of Mecca prior to the 7th century in any historical document, in any type of archaeology. There is nothing there. The only time that we hear anything of Mecca prior to the 7th century is in a hadith literature or in the Quran. There's nothing out there supporting this. So when Peter keeps asking them, hey, can you please provide some type of source, some type of documentation that shows us that Mecca existed prior to the 7th century, and your entire faith system depends upon that system, or depends upon that, and you can't do it, yeah, you're going to attack that person who asked you that question. This is exactly why Mustafa is beside himself, because he knows there is nothing out there that says that Mecca existed prior to the 7th century.
Yeah, exactly. So here in the next slide is when it gets a little bit more worse. So this is Peter and his family, man. It's a very beautiful family here. So Peter, when you see this video, it's a very beautiful family. But it says here, and I'm not going to blaspheme my Lord and Savior or the Holy Ghost either. So I'm just gonna put this there. Make of a woman of a pregnant with all those, or was it you? Now, again, guys,
this guy is sick, Chris. This guy is just simply sick. In order to tell somebody this, you just have to have a sick mind.
I totally agree. Now, he's trying to boycott me because I put up a video about Kenny, but look at how disgusting this individual is. Again, Khalil from Kalamology. Why would you let somebody like this on your show that would taint your show with such a disgusting manner? And that's not even all. It actually gets worse than this. This is the bad part. And then I'm just going to keep going with this. And then he says here, the dirty kids don't looks like you. He can't even spell, and he can't even put proper grammar in there. It's like he's a 12-year-old typing.
I'm thinking Mustafa doesn't have any children of his own. This is why he's
no, yeah,
Peter.
Wait, he's single.
I don't think he's capable of having children of his own, but that's just based on what I've seen him post on Facebook.
Yeah, no, there's no way that any woman would want to touch him. And then he says here, they look like some of a Christian had them. Of course, what a wonderful way for a Muslim to be discussing things with a Christian, eh? I'm hoping that Khalil, and I'm hoping that these guys at EF Dawa, that Hamza and Mansour and Hashim, I hope all you guys are proud of Mustafa Ahmed and how he acts and how he talks. It's disgusting that any of you guys allow him a platform to speak. And this even gets worse. And you asked her, or did you? I'm not even going to read this, right? This is Mustafa writing this to Peter. right? And
Who
you
thinks
don't
of
even
these things? Who thinks of these types of things?
and you
I
don't
mean,
even know
who
who
would
he's
even
talking
think,
about yet.
right? Who would even think to ask something like this or to describe something like this? This is, I mean, when you're talking, I mean, look at this. And you asked her to, or did you stick your finger up her?
Exactly.
Come on, what the heck is wrong with you, dude?
This is this is a dude that like kind of like watches like too much porn, I think, and then curses himself when he's watching the porn. The only reason I say this is because Muslims have a tendency to watching porn and like trying to emanate that onto other people. This is documented. There are psychologists from Iran that I've heard on NPR radio. We can find that if you want. That's not a problem. As well as documented psychological reviews, okay, backed up with Google search data. So no, they're seeing this thing where these Muslim men, their only contact that they have with women because they can't date. Okay. I mean, they can't socialize with women. In other words, if their family is good, they'll get them a bride. You know what I mean? Okay. And if they're not, or the dude's a complete moron, he's not going to be able to get married or meet a woman. So the only thing he has is the porn. And well, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is definitely a case of an individual who honestly has a serious sexual deviant problem. That's my
Well, look at what he's
doctor of
writing
medical.
here.
I know. No, this is what he's
Brad,
doing.
look what he's writing here.
Yes, yes.
You ask your little slag of a bee when she started her men's. I mean, think about what he's saying here.
Exactly. He's
And
very.
and then-
This
very
is exactly
graphic.
what his prophet does.
And then
Yeah.
he says to verify it by doing this.
Yeah.
Like, what a disgusting individual. And these guys, again, these guys on EF Dawa, the Kalamology, the SC Dawa, the Islamic doxer himself, praise this guy, allow him to be on their platforms. This is actually the prime student of the Islamic doxer. We can see how good the Islamic doxer
And
teaches.
look how he projects,
students.
Chris. Look how he projects here. Wow, man,
yeah.
you are one sick man. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was Peter the one that was thinking about all these things? This is projection. This is exactly what we would think of somebody who has these perversions that we have demonstrated time and time again that he exhibits on Facebook and all of his posts. And when he gets on these live streams, this is what is wrong with this guy. He is he's either A, sexually deprived, or B, has homosexual tendencies that he does not want to admit because it would result in him being thrown off a tall building, or C, and this is what is probably most worrisome to me, he wants everybody to act like the perv that he is.
I'm going to go with, just so that was C. The last one you just said was C. I'm going to go with D. Actually, D. And what D is all of the frickin' above. Everything you just said. No, seriously. I mean, come on. Dude, you guys know me. Everybody knows me. I can go off on people. Okay, now you could say I have really perverse visions of violence. Okay, you can. Okay, yeah, all right, I'll go with that. But this stuff, man, I mean, it's like you said, who would think of this? You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, no.
Look at the last line here. Look at the last line. What he's accusing Peter of. We're crying out loud.
Just wait, though. We went to the next clip here, and then he says, "Wait, moron, did you say that little and her puberty?" So he's talking about her 11-year-old daughter, right? So he's asking about the mom and the 11-year-old girl, saying that our dear friend Peter is doing this or something to his 11-year-old daughter. Again, right here is the evidence that he's addressing the 11-year-old daughter when he's saying these things. Again, EF Dawa, SC Dawa, Kalamology, and even the Islamic doxer think that this man is such a great guy. I think that he needs psychological help. there is nothing right in this person's head whatsoever.
This is so graphic. And remember, I did mention, so, I have because, listen, this is why I'm saying this. No, I am not a psychologist, and nor do I pretend to be one on TV or social media. Just saying. But I'm telling you this right now. I have a perpetuality towards violent language because in my youth, I lived a very violent life. You know what I mean? Now, true, I've lost a lot of weight and started to get fit, and I'm starting to feel my oats a little bit more than I should have, and you know what I mean? But no, this is definitely demonstrating. He visualizes this. You know what I mean? These are very visual imagery, okay? So he either really fantasizes about this, watches this stuff, or this is what he's done or has done to him. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree, and that's why.
That last part that you just said, Rad, is just so profound. Visualizes, or it has been done to him.
Yeah, that's another.
That definitely might be the problem.
Yeah,
right
I'm not gonna. Hey guys, let's jump off that. I'm not gonna talk about that. Not at all.
So,
right?
Wait.
Okay,
let's
that's
just give a disclaimer.
I know, but
wait.
We're not gonna stoop down to his level. Right.
Okay, well, let's just give a disclaimer. None of us are psychologists, psychiatrists, or even work in the medical field, although we are all doctors here. Okay? It is not the doctor of medical healing in any way, shape, or form. So, no. But seriously, the dude is he's just weird, dude. Just go ahead.
And just so everybody knows, I did contact Peter, and I just want to answer this one for Peter. He says, when my YouTube channel goes up, I can't wait to upload these screenshots. Ha ha ha. You know what, Peter? Thank you very much for sending me these screenshots so I can put them up here on YouTube for you, just in case it takes a little longer for you to get your YouTube channel up.
Exactly.
We definitely need people to know what Mustafa is and who he is and what he's like. I'm just so happy, Peter, that you didn't want to keep this to yourself any longer, and that you wanted to get this out there so that people can protect themselves from people like Mustafa, right? And then here he says, more on, don't forget to add the part when you, and then had to add that in there at the end, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
Put that last picture up there. What was that?
Hold on, we didn't see that. That was too fast.
All right, give me a sec here.
We are a professional organization, as you can tell, people. That's right.
There you go.
Okay, moron, don't forget to add the part when you told your mother, sister, and that slag when they started their periods.
This is exactly where his mind is. This is where his mind is.
Now think about this. Doesn't this dude have a mother? Doesn't this dude have sisters? I mean, seriously. Don't. I mean, seriously. You know what I mean? You know, how would that? Oh man.
Well, when he's thinking about the menses of women, he's probably thinking of something grotesque, something repulsive, something that he doesn't have anything to do with that.
Well, I think
so he would gravitate towards the masculinity of other human beings, and that's probably where he is. That's just my thinking based on what I haven't seen these before. This is absolutely grotesque.
Exactly.
You know, when he was talking about, okay, well, Eric, you were proud of your service in Iraq for killing. Shut up. But when I see this is absolutely over the top grotesque. I don't know what to tell you, Chris, other than, don't ever have anything to do with this guy ever again, or don't ever have anything to do with anybody that has anything to do with this guy. This guy has just been exposed for being a perverted. Would I say slag? No, that wouldn't be a proper word. A perverted, and I say this with all sincerity and with all honest objectivity, looking at what he has written here, because I forwarded Chris all of those little emails or IMs that him and I had going back and forth. This is just gross. This is just. I would never engage in a conversation with anybody, even my worst enemy on the planet, and say the type of things that this guy would say. It's just sick.
Yeah, and what to put it out there, and I think Radical was right, and I think this is a deeper psychological issue, because you understand that if two guys are arguing, you're basically going to hear at the worst, F off type thing, right? There's going to be maybe that exchange, or I'm going to punch you in the face, or something like that, but it's not going to come to being so graphic about that type of thing that he's talking about. When you get into those specific details and as graphic as what Mustafa was in those screenshots, there's something wrong psychologically. And if people out there, there's Muslims out there that actually cared for this guy, they would actually try to get him some help. That's what they should be doing, and instead of getting him on camera and making him look like an idiot on their channel.
And this is okay. Hold on, just a second, Red. Let me say one more thing, and I'll be done. When you insult somebody's mom, that is like, sometimes people think of it as a joke. Ha ha ha! You talked about my mom this way, but those are fighting words. When you insult somebody's wife, yeah, those are fighting words. But when you insult somebody's children, I'm going to come after you and I'm going to tear the throat out of your neck and I'm going to make you eat it type insults. And this is where this guy is. This is what happens when you've lost a debate in any type of sensibility between Christianity and Islam. This is what you do. And look how far this guy is willing to go. He is willing to go all the way to talk about somebody's children. If you would talk about my children this way, yeah, dude, this is game on. This is when you and I are going to have to meet someday, and we're going to have a conversation, because you don't dare talk about somebody's mom. You don't dare ever, ever, ever talk about somebody's wife. But when you talk about my children in this way, yeah, dude, this is over the top provocative. This is over the top sick.
Well, can I just interject here? Okay. To any Muslims that watch this, I don't know, are listening right now. Seriously, well, you guys, you can check with me. I got problems with, some of the people that are mentioned, definitely. The person that will not be mentioned. And this other dude, honestly, I had very limited interaction with this guy that we're talking about, this Mustafa fellow. All you Mustafas look alike to me on Facebook. I had to go back to 2018 for what I'm going to share with you later when Chris is done. And we're going to see going back to 2018 is what I'm saying. This is a consistent pattern. And I just blocked the dude and ignored the dude, and I moved on. I'm like, dude, this dude is weird. You know what I mean? Okay? He's of no interest to me. Okay, because the insults that he's throwing. Well, first of all, he's assaulted my mom. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, my mom, when my dad brought my mom home to meet my grandmama on my dad's side, she's from Kentucky. She pulled out a bottle of Kentucky bourbon, set it down, and gave my mom a glass. And my mom said, "No, I'm going to drink from the bottle." So my mom and my grandmama got along very well after that, okay? So in other words, what I'm saying, my mom would beat this dude's mom's ass anytime, okay? I'm just telling you. Well, maybe not now. She's 85 years old. I'm just saying, but back in the day, So that's not even an insult to me. You know what I mean? And then, my wife, my ex-wife, yeah, you can pretty much insult her all you want now. I don't really care, because I'm like, yeah, pretty much, okay, whatever you say, yep, that's what it is. But if I was married to her, yeah, then that would definitely be fighting words. But like you said, Eric, you go after someone's children, and Eric, what you just said, I will just say, you are more merciful than I would be. Okay? But that's the thing, dude. Okay.
I just don't want the FBI knocking on my door, Rad. That's all.
Yeah, well, no, just as long as you don't say anything to them and you have a lawyer, give them a lawyer's card, and your lawyer's going to say, "I'm not talking to you," they leave you alone. I'm just saying. They really do.
Guys like Mustafa, when we look at, he fancies himself as being some type of tough guy. Mm-hmm. But when you look at guys like that, they are not. And, they might talk the talk, but they most certainly do not walk the walk. If you
Oh,
look at this guy, and I mean, I've looked at his Facebook profile. I'll admit this. I looked at his Facebook profile. He is so narcissistic. He wants people to think that he's this like, what's that magazine that men, like
Playboy?
what? Not Playboy. Not
No,
Playboy.
you're like, what's that
No.
magazine that man's looking at? I'm thinking,
Hold on, GQ. He wants to think everybody, or he wants everybody to think that he's like this model that would be on GQ. But when the fat, yeah, if you look at his Facebook page, I mean, he's got all these selfies and this idea that he's this like great looking guy. Number one, he's probably what, in his 20s, maybe 30s, but the guy is like 100. I don't want to say 100 pounds over, and I'm not trying to impinge on people or try to slam on people who are overweight. But what he wants everybody to think is like this. Okay, stop. I'm just saying that he wants everybody to think he's this great looking guy, but he's not. He's just like this blubber bunch of a human being. And this is where when we started talking about the depravity or the not being able to pursue women or whatever, and they look at him and they're just like, that's where that comes from. And when we look at his posts, when he everything is sexualized because he is incapable. This is where that comes from.
Did you see his posts on his wall? Most of them are about pedophilia. Speaks about Jewish tradition, about or the age of Rebecca, 3 years old, as per Rabbi Rashi, and the marriage of children of Jewish tradition at 3 years old. It's all his wall is like 80% of his posts is about pedophilia. And he has no problem to call anyone as dog. He called many Christians. Wow. Christians are dogs. Jews are dogs in his wall, and even in groups of debates. He has no problem to say that on daily basis. And even I have experience with him. He called me Khanzir, which means Khanzir in Arabic means a pig in English. Called my family, called all Egyptians are pigs. For no reason, but he is he is mad. He is mad.
What's the significance of being called a pig? Because honestly, people in the West, non-Arabic, non-culturally, people that are from Arabia area, including Egypt now, which although it shouldn't be because it actually is Africa. Actually, it is separate. It is Egypt. It has always been Egypt. Should be Egypt, but that's beside the point. Anyway. So, what does it mean, under Islamic theology, to be a khanzir, a pig, I mean, are you a good creature? Are you, can you be a forgiving creature? What's that? Sorry?
Bad.
Yes. To be a pig is worse. Now, here's another thing. According to the Quran or the Hadith or whatever, the Christian and the Jew are the worst of creatures. So it's actually so Christians and Jews are actually worse than khanzirs, worse than pigs, right?
Yes, true.
Oh, but no, I just thought I'd throw it out there. But go ahead.
Okay, if we were to describe him, or what's the word? I can't remember what word it is, but the bottom line, he reminds me of Jabba the Hutt.
Dude,
all right,
Rad. What?
Read the private chat. You ready?
All right, read the private chat on this or other something else. Okay, go ahead.
Right. You said that you had something to play, and it's going to be near the end.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we're wrapping up. Okay, yeah. So let me just go to this. Yeah. Okay. So while we're pulling this up, Muslims out there, I don't know the one dude that I guess he was on his show. No, I don't got a video file. Look, dude, you can look at me, look at Chris, look at all of us. We no, there's nothing wrong with busting anybody's balls. There's nothing wrong with giving a video a tweak or whatever, or going. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't see anything wrong with that. But what this dude is doing and his crew, okay, or are doing, I'm sorry. I mean, I ignore these people. I just, block them, whatever. I don't want nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? And why would you want anything to do with them is kind of the point. But all right, so let me pull it up here. Application window. Yeah, here we go. Okay.
You were doing all that when you were talking.
What's that?
All right, it's up.
All right. Well, if I wasn't talking so much, I probably would have pulled up a lot sooner. Okay. So, dude, they're okay. So let me explain something. Let me give some background. Okay, so I'm sorry, all you Mustafas on Facebook look alike to me. I don't go through your Facebook pages. I don't look at you. Okay, I just see Mustafa. Okay, it's another Mustafa. I am sorry. It's kind of gotten to that point, but hey, prove me wrong. Anyway, I got into a discourse with this Mustafa Ahmed. If this is the same Mustafa Ahmed on Facebook in 2018, I don't know. Okay, all right, but evidently you all are saying that he was a friend with Yahya Snow. Yahya Snow, I do like. I wonder whatever happened with that dude, but that's beside the point. But anyway, this was an interaction, okay, that I had with this dude. I actually looked this up on Facebook. I'm like, what? I just search it and do all kinds of put filters on, but I finally found it. Okay, so here it is. Okay, that's what he says. Robert Wells. Unfortunately, a Christian man like yourself who doesn't wash his ass after. Oh wait, are we G?
Come on, man.
All right.
No swearing.
Okay. Washes his whatever after whatever should really be ashamed of himself. LOL. He continues on. Okay. You Christians just wipe and smear. Look. Dirty rats. Okay. He studies rats? I don't know. Whatever. You pee and shake your willy. Dude, I'm reading this and I'm laughing. And pants upright. LOL. That's disgusting, unhygienic. Okay, and shameful. What? Okay. You Christians smell worse than sewers. Please learn how you clean your back and front after coming out of the toilet. Okay, but he continues on. When you sleep with your boyfriend, again, going back to the homosexual imagery, this is back in 2018. What boyfriend? What are you talking about? When you sleep with your boyfriend, do you take it? Or give it, well, I don't know, whatever, that passes the censors. That's a shameful matter. You being a Christian will say it's okay to be gay, right? What? Yeah, anyway, continuing on. So I respond, wow. No, actually, I won't even read my response. Well, my response is going to be then as it is now. What is it with Muslims and urine and homosexuality and gay sex and periods? I shouldn't say Muslims. Let me take it back. Let me reframe this. What is wrong with this Muslim? Okay? And his obsession and imagery with, first of all, gay sex.
Hold on. I just want to say thank you to Darcy for posting that. That is exactly the crux of the matter.
Yeah.
What'd she post? I missed it.
Like I said, hey, she said, yet they use their hands to wipe themselves and don't use toilet paper.
Yeah, and what do you do with that hand?
Well, they don't eat with that hand. That's why they eat with the right hand, but they can touch the drink with, never mind. Anyway, again, he's throwing all this stuff at me like, I mean, out of nowhere. No, wait, hold on. This was the comment. This is all I said. Ahmed actually agrees with you. Don't be ashamed of whom you're from. Well, unless you're a Muslim, maybe very shameful. Oh, I should point that out. I probably should have copied that part out too. I was actually arguing with a real ISIS Muslim that, well, is no longer with us. And the dude was agreeing, and Mustafa was actually agreeing with him. Oh, I forgot to include that part. I'm sorry. I'll have to go get those screenshots again. But anyway, point being is this. This Muslims, listen to me. Chris and Eric, okay, they got no problem dialoguing and discussing with you. Me, I'll dialogue and discuss with you, but I will also bust your balls, okay? And I don't care if you do that to me. It's no big deal. But what this Mustafa dude is doing, why would you want any part of this? What is his obsession with urine? What is his obsession with menstruating children? What is his obsession with vividly and graphically gay sex? What is his obsession with basically vivid, graphic sex with Christian wives and children? You know what I mean? That's something you got to ask yourself, dude. You know, do you want to associate with this person or not? And that's the thing, because I know Chris and Eric, they want to do dialogue and discussions. Okay. And I'm more comedy, really. But anyway,
not with anybody like Mustafa, though.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
All right. So is there last thing that you want to say here, Eric?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, John?
No, it's okay.
Anything you need to say, Red?
I think I've said enough and done enough damage for tonight. So, no.
Well, alrighty. So the first thing I want to do here before we end this is I just want to let all Christians know that do watch this. Please tell all your friends. Do not join a platform with Mustafa Ahmed on it or the Islamic Doxer. We need these guys to be held accountable, and we can't just allow these Muslims to be out all over the place debating Christians and treating other Christians like they have. So before I do go, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, the true triune God, for blessing me with the ability to be able to be doing these YouTube videos. And next off, I do want to thank my wife. She's a very big support for me. Thank you very much as well to my lovely and amazing wife. And thank you to all of you guys for showing up and showing your support. If you have liked this video, go ahead and like the video and hit the subscribe and turn on all notifications. God bless everybody, and we'll see you later.